All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about how to bring one of the most fun, most charismatic little birds to your backyard, the tufted titmouse. If you want a little more life at your feeders, you are definitely in the right place.
You've probably seen this before. A little gray bird swoops into your feeder, grabs a single seed with like surgical precision, and then, poof, vanishes back into the trees. If that sounds familiar, then you've met the feathered ninja. That move is their calling card.
So yeah, let's properly introduce this little guy, the tufted titmouse. You really can't miss them. They've got that sharp gray crest, a chunky little body, and these huge, dark, curious eyes. They are bold, they are loud, and they bring so much personality to the yard.
And this description, it absolutely nails their vibe. They are not shy birds. They show up, they let everyone know they're there, and while they'll hang out with other birds, they've definitely got their own thing going on. They're just a constant source of entertainment.
So why even bother trying to attract them? Well, unlike some birds that are just passing through for a season, titmice, they're the kind of guests that actually stick around. They make your yard a more exciting place all year long.
I mean, just look at their resume here. First off, they're year-round residents. Once they find your yard, they're probably gonna stay. They are also amazing at natural pest control. They just love to snack on beetles, caterpillars, even wasps. Plus, they're super smart and often hang out in these big mixed flocks with chickadees and woodpeckers, basically creating a whole bird watching party right outside your window.
And you will definitely hear them before you see them. Just listen for this really clear, whistling, Peter, Peter, Peter call. I'm telling you, once you learn it, you'll start hearing it all the time. It's one of those classic sounds of the forest.
Okay, let's get down to business. Step 1 for attracting titmice is creating a place where they feel safe and secure. It's really all about making your yard their personal little sanctuary.
So, what does safe even look like from a tiny bird's point of view? Where do they feel comfortable enough to eat, to hang out, maybe even raise a family? Well, it really just comes down to a few key things.
First, they absolutely love mature trees, especially oaks and beeches. These trees are like their supermarket and their apartment building all in one. Second, if you've got a lot of wide open lawn, planting some shrubs gives them a quick place to dart into and hide from predators. And third, and this is a big one, if you have a dead tree limb that's not a danger, leave it. They use old woodpecker holes and other cavities to build their nests.
Now, what's the single easiest thing you could do, like today? Just add water. A simple bird bath gives them a reliable spot to drink and clean up, and it can seriously make your yard a daily hotspot. A heated one in the winter? Oh, it's an absolute game changer. All right, let's talk about the fastest way to get their attention. Food. If you really want to win over a titmouse, you've got to know what to put on the menu. This is where you can make a huge impact really fast.
And what they like isn't a secret. It is crystal clear. Black oil sunflower seeds are hands down their #1 favorite food. It's not even close. Peanuts and high-fat suet are also fantastic choices, especially in the cold weather, when they need all that extra energy.
So here's the deal. You have to choose quality over quantity. Stick with black oil sunflower seeds, peanuts, and suet. Please avoid those cheap seed mixes that are packed with millet and other fillers. The titmice will just flick that stuff onto the ground, and it'll end up attracting birds you probably don't want, like house sparrows.
And where you put the feeder is just as important as what's in it. Tube feeders, hopper feeders, platform feeders, they all work great. The real key, though, is to place them within about 10 feet of a tree or some shrubs. This gives the titmice a safe escape route, which makes them feel way more comfortable visiting over and over again. Okay, so you've done it. You've got them visiting your feeders every single day. How do you convince them to upgrade from visitor to permanent resident? Well, the next step is getting them to nest and raise a family right there in your yard.
Now listen up, because this is the single most important detail if you're going to put up a nest box. The entrance hole has to be exactly 1 1/4 inches. Not bigger, not smaller. That size is perfect for them, but it's too small for bigger, more aggressive birds like starlings, which keeps their nests safe.
And setting it up is super easy. Just mount the box about 6 to 10 feet off the ground. Try to find a spot that gets some shade so it doesn't bake in the afternoon sun. And a little pro tip, put a thin layer of wood shavings inside just to give them a little head start on decorating.
And here's a pretty hilarious fact about their nesting habits. Titmice love to line their nests with soft stuff, especially animal hair, and they are famously bold about getting it. They've actually been seen plucking fur right off a sleeping dog or even from a person's head. Talk about dedication to a comfy home. See, attracting titmice isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's about creating a reliable spot that they know they can count on all year round. You're basically turning your backyard into a 5-star resort they'll want to come back to again and again.
Their needs just change a little with the seasons. In the spring, mealworms are a huge help for their growing chicks. In the summer heat, fresh water is absolutely critical. And then, in the fall and winter, they go into caching mode, storing hundreds of seeds. So keeping those feeders stocked with high-fat foods is super important.
And here it is. Here is the real reward. When you provide that consistent care, they remember your yard. They'll come back year after year. And what's so cool is that they will bring their young with them, introducing a whole new generation to your feeders. So, let's just boil it all down. What can you do today to get started? It's really just 4 simple steps. Get a feeder, fill it with their favorite, black oil sunflower seeds. Make sure it's near some cover, like a bush or a tree, and add a source of fresh water. That's it. That's the whole recipe for success. By taking these small steps, you're not just feeding a bird. You are actively taking part in your local ecosystem. And it kind of makes you wonder, now that you've invited the titmouse, who are you going to invite next?